Have you ever felt like your body and mind stop speaking the same language? One morning you wake up and realize that movement takes effort. The joints that once carried you with ease now complain. The memories that used to come like breath now stumble on their way out. You visit doctors, take the pills, follow every routine they prescribe. And still, something inside you whispers, this isn't it. Because deep down, you know healing isn't just about medicine. It's about meaning. The truth no one tells you is this: the body doesn't age alone. It follows the stories the mind tells it. Every anxious thought becomes tension in the muscles. Every unspoken grief becomes a knot in the chest. Every fear about the future drains the very energy your body needs to live fully right now. Maybe your body isn't breaking down. Maybe it's just repeating what your mind has been rehearsing for years. Doctors can measure your blood pressure, they can test your bones, but they can't measure how much of your spirit has grown tired. Because the mind doesn't show up on an X-ray, even though it's where most pain begins. Have you noticed how the body listens to your inner voice? Say I'm weak and it slumps. Say I'm healing and the breath deepens. Your thoughts are chemical. Your beliefs are instructions. Every cell in your body is quietly taking notes. Maybe the problem isn't that your body forgot how to heal. Maybe your mind forgot how to ask. So tonight, before you take another pill, pause. Before you call yourself old, breathe. Because inside you still lives a younger self, the one that never stopped believing in life, that still remembers how to grow, how to rest, how to heal. Let's begin where all true healing begins. Not in the muscles or the medicine cabinet, but in the quiet, unseen space between your thoughts. 1. The mind-body conversation. Monks have a saying, the body listens to every word the mind speaks. They call it the conversation between heaven and earth, the unseen dialogue that happens every second between your thoughts and your cells. You don't need to say the words out loud. Your body already hears them. Every emotion you feel is a message written in chemistry. Gratitude releases hormones that heal. Fear floods the body with acid and tension. Peace slows the heartbeat. Anger tightens it. Your immune system is not a machine. It's a listener. It's listening right now. You don't live inside your body lives inside your mind. Imagine two monks sitting in meditation, one filled with worry, the other filled with calm. Both are still, both are silent, but one's heart races while the other's heart rests. The same stillness. Two different minds. Two completely different worlds inside the same silence. When monks meditate, they are not escaping life. They are speaking to it. Each breath says to the body, you are safe. Each moment of awareness tells the nervous system, you may rest now. This is why their faces remain youthful, even in their 80s. Not because time forgot them, but because their thoughts never turned against them. Your body isn't your enemy, it's your echo. Most people, especially as they age, begin to speak to their bodies like a disappointed parent. I'm so tired. My back is ruined. I can't remember anything anymore. And the body, loyal as a child, obeys. It listens, believing these words are instructions. And so, it adjusts. It slows down. It stiffens. It forgets. But what happens when you start speaking differently? When you say, I'm healing, I'm strong, I'm grateful to still be here. At first, the body might not believe you, not yet. But like a garden that has gone dry, once you begin watering it with kindness, it slowly comes back to life. There's a story from a Zen monastery about a monk named Kenji. He was frail, thin, and constantly ill. One morning, his teacher found him sitting outside in the cold, meditating with a gentle smile. When asked why he was smiling through his pain, he said, "Because my body has been faithful to me, even when I have not been kind to it." He bowed to his own hands, his trembling knees, and whispered, "Thank you for carrying me this far." Within months, his health began to return, not because of medicine, but because of mercy. The moment you stop fighting your body, it starts fighting for you. Your body is not just flesh, it's memory. It remembers every insult, every worry, every thought you've repeated to yourself, and yet it never stops trying to heal. Every night while you sleep, it repairs, replaces, renews, waiting for your mind to stop sending signals of war. When you think gently, you give your body permission to rest. When you think gratefully, you give it a reason to keep going. And when you think lovingly, something even deeper happens. The chemistry of youth quietly stirs again. You don't have to meditate like a monk to begin this conversation. You just have to pause right now and ask your body, "What do you need from me today?" Then listen, truly listen. Maybe it needs rest. Maybe it needs breath. Maybe it just needs forgiveness for not being as strong as it once was. The mind doesn't heal the body by control. It heals by compassion. Your body doesn't want perfection. It wants a partnership. It wants you to stop treating it like a failing machine and start treating it like a friend who's been carrying you, quietly, faithfully, for decades. So tonight, before you fall asleep, say one sentence to yourself. "Thank you, body, for staying." You may not feel the difference immediately, but your cells will. And with time, they'll begin to whisper back, "I'm listening." But healing isn't only about what you think, it's about what you believe. Because thoughts are just words until belief gives them power. 2. Belief is biochemistry. There's an old story told in the monasteries of the Himalayas of monks who meditate bare-chested in the snow. No blankets, no fire, just stillness. And yet, as they sit motionless, steam begins to rise from their robes. The snow beneath them melts. The air around them shimmers with warmth. Tourists who see it call it a miracle. Scientists call it thermogenesis. But the monks call it something simpler: belief. They believe they are warm, and the body obeys. Every thought is a prescription. Every fear is a poison. It sounds impossible until you remember how much power belief already has in your life. Think of the last time you felt deep fear. Your heart raced, your hands shook, your stomach twisted. There was no danger in front of you, only a thought, and yet your body reacted as if you were being chased. Now imagine reversing that same signal, sending peace instead of panic, faith instead of fear. That's what monks train their minds to do. They use belief not as wishful thinking, but as a deliberate biological command. Modern doctors call this the placebo effect, but monks have practiced it for thousands of years, intentionally. They don't wait for belief to happen, they cultivate it. They repeat words of truth until the body learns to listen. The body doesn't heal by information, it heals by instruction. Every emotion, every expectation, every prayer is a set of directions you give your cells. When you think "I'm broken," your cells prepare for decay. When you think "I'm healing," they activate repair. The language of the mind becomes the chemistry of the body. There's a famous story from a Buddhist temple in Japan. A monk once grew very ill, frail, feverish, unable to walk. Instead of seeking medicine, he began to visualize a golden light inside his chest each morning. He whispered to it, grow, expand, heal. After several weeks, he rose from his bed, his fever gone. When asked how he did it, he smiled and said, "I remembered that the body is only a student. It learns from the mind. You've trained your body to age. You can train it to heal." We see the same pattern everywhere. People who lose hope decline faster, while those who believe they will recover often do. Doctors call them medical miracles. Monks call them alignment, because the moment the mind decides to live, the body finds a way to follow. Belief isn't superstition, it's science written in the language of the spirit. When you believe in possibility, your brain releases dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, the body's natural medicine cabinet. When you live in despair, the chemistry reverses: cortisol, adrenaline, inflammation. Your biology mirrors your faith, not your fear. And belief isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about choosing which story you feed. You can keep repeating, "I'm old, I'm weak, I'm done." Or you can whisper what the monks whisper every morning, "I am still becoming." Even after decades of pain or illness, your body still wants to heal. It's waiting for permission, waiting for belief to unlock what doubt has shut down. Because belief is not a fantasy, it's fuel. It's the difference between cells that merely survive and cells that come alive. Your body isn't waiting for medicine, it's waiting for a new story. There's an old Zen riddle: which comes first, healing or faith? The master smiles and says, they arrive together, hand in hand. Because once the mind believes in life again, the body remembers how to live. So the next time you feel the ache of age or the weight of fatigue, pause before reaching for another pill. Place your hand over your heart and say, "I still believe in my body." That sentence alone begins the shift, because belief rewires biology, and once your body remembers that truth, even time begins to listen. But belief alone isn't enough. To heal deeply, the mind must learn not just to control, but to release. Because true restoration doesn't come from forcing life back in. It comes from learning how to let go. 3. Release, the mind's hidden medicine. Your body remembers everything your mind tries to bury. The heartbreak you never let yourself grieve. The anger you swallowed to keep the peace. The fear you hid behind a smile so no one would worry. All of it, every silence, every sigh, every unshed tear, is still living somewhere inside you. In your shoulders, your gut, your back, your breath. Monks say, unfelt sorrow becomes a stone in the body, and the only way to heal is not to fight it, but to release it. You can't heal a body that's still holding its own tears. When you hold pain for too long, your body begins to speak for you. A stiff neck becomes unspoken resentment. A heavy chest becomes uncried grief. A tired body becomes a tired spirit wearing too many masks. It's not that age is cruel, it's that we've carried too much for too long. In monasteries, monks practice a method called Nikan, which translates to inner looking. Every evening, they sit in silence and ask themselves 3 questions. What have I received today? What have I given? What pain am I still holding that is no longer mine to carry? And then they breathe. They don't force answers. They just let the truth rise. Sometimes it comes as tears, sometimes as laughter, sometimes as a long, shaking exhale. Because when truth finally leaves the mind, the body exhales with it. There's a story from a small temple in Kyoto about an elderly monk named Haruto. He had pain in his knees for years. Doctors said it was age. Nothing could be done. One afternoon during meditation, he began to weep, quietly, uncontrollably. Later, when asked why, he said, "When my wife died 40 years ago, I never cried. I thought I had to be strong for the others. Today, I finally let her go." That night, for the first time in decades, he walked without pain. Sometimes the pain in your body isn't asking for medicine, it's asking for mourning. We grow up learning to be strong, to hold everything together, to stay composed. But that strength, the kind that hides what hurts, becomes poison over time. The monks would tell you that true strength isn't the ability to hold on, it's the courage to let go. When you forgive, the breath deepens. When you cry, your blood pressure drops. When you speak honestly, your heartbeat steadies. This isn't magic. It's biology aligning with truth. It's your nervous system saying, "Finally, I can stop pretending." Every emotion you release frees a part of your body that's been waiting to breathe again. Have you noticed how light you feel after a genuine cry? That's not weakness. That's your chemistry resetting. Your body has been carrying emotional weight like an invisible backpack for years. And every time you face what hurts with honesty instead of fear, the load gets lighter. Monks call this emptying the cup, because only an empty cup can be filled again. They sit in silence not to escape life, but to cleanse it. One breath, one tear, one release at a time. They know that peace doesn't come from control, but from surrender. And maybe that's the medicine you've been missing. Not another supplement, not another diagnosis, but a safe space inside yourself where you can finally say, "This hurts," without shame. A place where you can lay down what you've carried for too many years. The guilt, the regret, the grief, and let the earth take it back. Healing begins the moment you stop holding yourself hostage to your own history. So tonight, when the house is quiet and the weight feels heavy, don't fight it. Sit, breathe, whisper, "I forgive, I release, I'm free." Your body will understand before your mind does. And in that understanding, something ancient will stir. The quiet knowing that you are not broken, just clearing space for peace to return. And once the mind has released what's heavy, the body becomes ready to receive what's healing. 4. The mind is a healing ritual. Healing doesn't happen only in hospitals. It doesn't live in prescriptions or behind the sterile walls of a clinic. It happens in the quiet, ordinary moments. When you breathe deeply instead of worrying, when you thank your body instead of criticizing it, when you choose stillness instead of panic. The strongest medicine is not swallowed, it's practiced. Every morning, before the world begins, monks sit in silence. They place their hands together and whisper words that Western science might dismiss as too simple. Thank you. Thank you, body, for another breath. Thank you, heart, for still beating. Thank you, life, for not giving up on me. That's their first medicine of the day, gratitude. Because when gratitude enters, stress leaves, the nervous system calms, the heart opens, and the body, which listens closely to every emotion, begins to shift from defense to repair. There's a saying in Zen, "A grateful mind is a healthy mind." The monks live by it, and maybe that's why they age more slowly, smile softer, and suffer less. Not because they avoid hardship, but because they turn every hardship into a prayer of appreciation. You can't control how long you live, but you can control how alive you feel while you do. Healing is not a destination, it's a daily ritual. Every thought you repeat becomes a dose. Every act of kindness, internal or external, becomes a nutrient. And every moment you choose peace instead of fear, you are practicing the medicine of life. At the end of each day before they sleep, monks do something just as important as morning gratitude. They forgive. They sit quietly, breathe deeply, and say, I forgive myself for the moments I was unkind. I forgive life for not always being gentle. And I forgive the body for being human, for aging, for aching, for simply doing its best. That small ritual keeps their hearts light. It clears the emotional clutter that builds up in ordinary people's days. It allows them to sleep peacefully, not as a body shutting down, but as a soul resting in balance. Forgiveness is the body's way of exhaling the past. Think about how often you end your day in tension, replaying mistakes, regretting words, worrying about tomorrow. Every time you do, your body holds its breath a little longer. But when you forgive before sleep, something profound happens. Your body lets go. Your cells release stress hormones. And in that gentle release, healing begins. A Buddhist teacher once said, if you want to heal the world, start by softening the way you speak to yourself. The monks live this truth. They don't rush. They don't scold themselves for imperfection. They meet each day as a student, not as a judge. You can begin the same way. You don't need to shave your head or live on a mountain or meditate for hours. You only need to start with 3 sacred acts. 1 deep breath to remind your body it's safe. 2, one kind thought to remind your mind it's capable of peace. 3, one honest word to remind your soul it's still here. That's it. That's the daily dose your soul has been waiting for. Healing isn't about finding peace. It's about remembering you never lost it. So tomorrow morning, before your feet touch the floor, try this. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, thank you. Thank you for another sunrise. Thank you for another chance. Thank you for this breath. And before you sleep, let forgiveness wash over you like warm rain. Let your body rest not in fear, but in faith. The faith that life is still healing through you. Because every ritual, every quiet breath, every act of gratitude becomes a medicine stronger than any pill. The medicine of awareness. And awareness, when practiced daily, becomes peace that no disease can steal. Because the real miracle of healing isn't escaping pain. It's remembering that peace was never lost. It's been waiting in your mind, in your breath, in the sacred stillness of your own being, for you to return to it. You were never powerless. You were simply taught to forget your power. For years, you've been told to look outside yourself for healing. In doctors, in prescriptions, in promises that never seem to last. And yet the truth has always lived quietly inside you. Your mind is the medicine you've been searching for. The body heals through the stories the mind believes. When you think I'm broken, your body tightens. When you whisper, I'm healing, your breath softens, your heart steadies, and your cells begin to listen. Every thought you choose is a message sent directly to the body, a chemical prayer that shapes your tomorrow. So tonight, before you reach for another pill or scroll through another list of cures, try something different. Sit in silence, place your hand over your heart, and whisper, I am healing from the inside out. Your body will hear you, your heart will believe you, and your mind, the quiet architect of every heartbeat, will begin to remember its strength. You don't need to fight your body anymore. You need to befriend it. You don't need to control your mind. You need to trust it again. Because healing isn't about fixing what's broken. It's about remembering what's still whole. You were never just a patient sitting helplessly in the waiting room of life. You've always been your own healer. You just forgot how powerful that truth really is. The medicine was never in the bottle. It was in you. So if this message touched your heart, share it with someone who's forgotten theirs. Like, comment, and subscribe. Not just to this channel, but to your own healing. Because every time you remind yourself, I am still healing, you send a ripple of hope into a world that desperately needs it. You were never powerless. You were never broken. You were always, and still are, the medicine.